Good morning. Many thanks for watching KTN. Remember, today is the 8th day of the week, also known as the 25th day of June, the anniversary, the second anniversary of the demonstrations that saw Kenyans go to the streets, as well as tell Parliament to get rid of the Finance Bill 2024. My name is Dennis Aseto, and in here we have Andu Oko as your Kabundu. How are you, Mama?
Good morning.
You well? First of all, we start by happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Diandu. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Happy 18th birthday, Mama.
Yeah, 18 is a lovely year.
It's a lovely year.
Asante sana.
Yeah, as well as we have Josephat Kamanya, who is as well here as a guest host in making sure that we are able to go through the demonstrations. Joe, good morning.
Morning.
I love the flag.
Yes, today is the day.
Today is the day, yeah?
Right.
Yeah. Remember, this is a special coverage of the same, of the commemoration, the anniversary of the demonstrations in 2024 that saw Kenyans go to the street against the finance bill then. But remember, this is the Situation Room, and we are doing things a little bit differently. Ndu.
Indeed, yes, we are this morning. And we're looking at a situation where the 25th of June, 2 years ago, was a day that changed Kenya. As we're seeing some of those in the headlines this morning. This is a Situation Room. We're looking into that. Hope everybody's doing okay this morning. And as we even get into the show today, again, we'll then be able to look through different parts of the city and parts of the country and find out exactly what's going on. But apart from that, it's a day to remember. It's a day to remember, and it's also a day to commemorate some of the things for which many people say have not been resolved in terms of justice, that there's still many questions about what ought to happen. So this is a special coverage here at KTN, also simulcast on Spice FM. We continue with the Situation Room, and we can see you streaming in. Our live streams continue to be up. We're here on KTN. Our live streams are on YouTube, on Facebook, and on X as well. So we're looking into some of those situations. Let's tell you also what we'll be talking about today. And how we'll be looking into some of these conversations, right? So we will have, at 7 o'clock, we'll start to talk about some of these Gen Z commemoration, the protection of human rights. George Morara will join us at 7 o'clock, and then we'll also commemorate again, and we'll talk about some of the things that ought to be in place. Former LSK President Nelson Havi will join us at 8 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, again into the Gen Z commemoration, Byron Adera and Anthony Wambugo, who are safety and security experts, as well as the chair of the Kitengela Business Owners, will join us at that hour for us to then be able to look into what really this means, the different spots where we're already seeing that they may be trouble spots. We're waking up this morning to checks in different parts of the city, from Mombasa Road coming in from Kitengela, and also then on the other side of things coming in from Nyayo Stadium into the CBD. Seems very difficult to then be able to get into already. There are many checks happening in different parts of the country as well. So these are things that we're going to be looking into through this morning, and we'll get into it proper. Before we then see what's happening in the headlines today, we're still going to look into our proverb and see what the proverb has.
Yes, and you see, the proverb today comes from this beautiful country called Kenya. And today is the second anniversary. And as well, we added a new day, the 8th day of the week as well, you know.
Yeah, it's the 8th day.
8th day, you know, if you talk about, Kenya has, is it the 8th wonder or the 7th wonder?
It's the 8th, if I'm not
wonder.
wrong.
And then we have the 8th day of the week as well. You gotta love it, gotta love this country. But let's go to the proverb. The proverb now comes from the Luo community and talks about leadership. And it says in Luo, Jatelo okngal. In English, a leader does not chew bones. How would you interpret it? The birthday girl goes first.
I was going to nominate. I was going to nominate Joe. A leader does not chew bones.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Where I come from, the sweetest part of this whole thing is the juice you get out of the bone. So the leader might eat the meat. It's the maybe most boring part. They have to go through the mundane, making sure that you then leave the bone for everybody else to then suck the juice out of. So I probably see it the opposite. That's how my brain is working today.
Joe?
On the 8th day.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
On this 8th day, a leader does not chew bones. I think I'll take it to mean that a leader, there is some legwork that the leader must not do, because you have people that should be able to do that. I would interpret that to mean delegate, much as you can do it, perhaps, you have the grit, but you let other people do it. Also remember how we put it in other areas that don't wipe the bone clean because of the home, the dogs, Bosco. Don't take it all. Don't suck it all in. Leave some for others.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with what Tundu said, that the juiciest part of the bone, then the leader should lead with humility, where he understands that he has to do the tough job of making sure that the cow is slaughtered, the meat has been separated. Then he removes actually the meat outside the bone and ensures that the citizenry enjoys the sweet things that comes with leadership. So in short, what this proverb says is those in high positions should lead with humility.
Lead with humility.
Imefika nyumbani?
I need you to say that again.
Yeah, those in high positions, leaders in positions of authority, donated to by the people, should lead with what? Humility. With humility.
Okay. Sawa.
Okay.
Interesting to see how our guests will interpret that today.
Very, very interesting, and we'll look into that today as we get into it. But let's take a moment to say hello to everybody who's tuning in this morning. It's a day that we've been, looking forward to, but also looking to in terms of then what, the temperature will be. And so we know that you're tuning in from different parts of the country as well as different parts of the world this morning to then have an opportunity to look into it. It's been reported from different sectors to then be able to get a feeling of understanding of what then people really are feeling and what will happen today. Drift Session is tuned in this morning. A very good morning to you. And you say, welcome to the 8th day of the week is what you've told us. A minute of silence in memoriam. Happy Remembrance Day to our fallen heroes, named and unnamed. Kimiak says, good morning. May the souls of our fallen comrades rest in eternal peace, even as we pursue justice. In other news, do you people know who Herman Kamaraki is? Yes, we do.
Yes.
Herman Kamaraki is a reporter with the Standard Group. Flowers to you, because nothing good will come on the fruitless regime. Kimiak, good morning to you.
Yeah.
Nyakundi Emmanuel says, good morning. Good morning to the injectors. We are proud of you. Add more medicine. Okay, well, Dennis Aseto has his syringe ready to go.
Let's go.
Irene Iregiwajo, he says, good morning, people. I'm ready for the daily dose watching from Mombasa. You're tuning from Mombasa this morning. Tibbs Muge says, good morning, Spice team. Stay safe and hydrated. Henry Acceptor says, good morning, Spice FM. Leo Tuko Makumbusho, let's maintain peace. Mungumbele, that's for sure. Yes, Spice FM and from KTN studios this morning. Morning, apparently the president had discovered an extra day the rest of us hadn't any idea about, and neither had we budgeted for it. While we struggle to make ends meet 7 days a week, he squeezes an 8th day into the economy. Isaac Ali, I'm not surprised that's come from you. Jimmy Monuli says, good morning. My prayer is that there will be no deaths, no injury, and just be a commemoration day. The government must not go to war with its citizens. Beatrice is watching from Dallas in Texas and says, good morning. Robert Mboko says, good morning from Mombasa as well. Luhimbo says, good morning. Ndonko tuning in from Dar es Salaam. Given statements by some leaders in power, I personally suggest that young people and other demonstrators should channel that vigor into elections. I mean, that's the call for people and saying, take that energy, turn that inertia into, something that will yield you an actual result. True. Cliff Sunday says, good morning, Team Spice. We're here ready to see peace and responsible speech, action and restraint. May we not see inflammatory elements, but respect the lost ones and their families. Greetings to the salutations, Princess. Yes, and Aseto, can we see we have TSR for 8 days? Oh, there's always something good to come out of something, isn't it? We can have TSR for 8 days. How about that? That's the blood of martyrdom of nations. Heroes is a seed that only demands justice, accountability, and in the affairs of the nation. Paris Mudhoni is also tuned in this morning. A very good morning to you. David Mangere, we see you. Good morning, Spice FM. TSR Leo Ikoketian, absolutely. Special coverage of the commemoration of the Gen Z protest that took place in 2024. And then to see then what does it mean Kenya going forward. This is all happening when we did hear that continued warnings about, you can protest, you have the freedom to do so constitutionally, but until so far. And then we're not going to allow that to happen. I just wondered, as we woke up this morning and we're coming into studio, the different blocks that you see along the way, people checking who you are, where you're going, what it is that you're doing. And I'm wondering to myself, does that already create a sense of anxiety in the hearts of people?
It does. And I think for me, the biggest question was the officers who are on the roads, they have been given the power to protect and uphold the law. At the point when they know very well they are abrogating the law, who exactly are they working for? Because at that particular point, what they're doing is they have suspended the Constitution and they are doing what the orders they've been given, which again are illegal.
Yep, it is true.
Yep.
Continue to saying hello. Pix Tamwara says, good morning. We celebrate all the heroes we lost during the fight for Kenya's economic liberation, and we'll never forget their sacrifice. Zach OK is tuning this morning, Spice family from the Twin Cities of St. Paul and Minneapolis. A very good morning to you. We have created an 8-day week in Kenya, courtesy of the Standard Group. Okay. Good morning, says Christina. A very good morning to you. Fiery Red says, it's Ndu Day. Yes, thank you so much. A very good morning to you. We remember our heroes today. If breeze blows a certain way, then what will happen, right? Barry Bethwell says, good morning, tuning in from Gesha, Kiambu County. What will we name the 8th day of the week? Perhaps that's a poll that we need to create. What shall we name this 8th day?
Tell us what you think.
Tell us what you think. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Kiaria Peter is tuning this morning, and thank you so much. And you say, stay silent. Even when triggered, it's a superpower. You will win 99% of your battles through silence and observation. Drift Session, thank you so much. A very good morning to you. David Mangera, blessed you too. Amen and amen to those blessings. Thank you so much, Eric Mutiso. And, as you guys continue to stream into the room this morning, we see you stop the press. Actually, yes, Mr. Flani, very good morning to you. In this case, do we stop the press? But yes, thank you so much. And Raskodur, we see you. Good morning. And a very good morning to you, Eddie, as well. Everybody who's streaming into the room this morning, very, very grateful for those messages this morning. Thank you very much for that. Just it's so special to remember that. And it's kind of mixed feelings on this day when all of these things are happening at the same time, but really do appreciate all of that. So thank you very much. And we can see you guys all coming into the room this morning, Asante Sana. And I think that just the resilience of the people of Kenya to say, you know what, this happened. It was a horrible thing that 60 plus people died on one day because they were raising their voices to then be able to say, look, can we have a better, country? Can we do things better? Can we reduce corruption? Can we make sure that the rule of law and the Constitution is first, and that they died, but that people still are saying there is hope. We can do better, and that you insist on doing better. And I think that's a beautiful thing, that we can continue to be in that space.
And you see, it's not just a call of something that happens. It's not just a mere commemoration. It was the beginning of an end to impunity, an end to austerity, an end to tax injustice. And people were calling for uphold the rule of the law. We are a country led by the Constitution. But you see, as you rightly put it, sometimes we suspend the Constitution. So this was the beginning of our economic liberation. In my opinion, these are our economic heroes. Everybody who lost a life, recorded or not, those are economic heroes. And there is no harm, there is no wrong in us as a country, whether we are friends or family members, coming out today in large numbers and paying respect to the blood that was shed. The flag, the Kenyan flag that we pride ourselves in, the red color means the blood that was shed for us to have our freedom. Our freedom to just move from one place and remove the shackles of colonization. That continues to happen. A second liberation also transpired. Now we're in the third economic liberation. Blood has been shed. Enough must be enough. No more bloodshed. Let us now experience the transformation that we want. So today, we all stand in solidarity on this 8th day, without any manipulation, with proper compliance to our Constitution, and say, rest in power, our economic
heroes.
Yes.
Yeah, I know we're about to take a break. We look at the weather and traffic as well at the moment. And as we do that, we need to just remind you of how the situation is on the roads as we speak at the moment. The situation on the road, pretty much the roads are clear, whether you're looking at Mombasa Road, that is around Imaradaima, and things are moving swiftly. Pretty much one would say nothing is really moving because many people are unable to access the roads due to the various blockades that we see. Just to remind you that there is a blockade around Madaraka roundabout that is along Langata Road, and you cannot access that as you headed to the CBD. I'm also well informed, and do that there is another blockade that is being seen around Mombasa Road as well.
Yeah, so coming in from that entire Mlolongo area, then coming through towards just past the airport junction, there is a spot check, there's a security check there, and so that's holding up traffic as you're coming in, then inbound to the city.
Yeah.
And so there's, of course, the police there just trying to find out who's going where, I guess. So we know that that's going to slow things down for anybody who's going into the city. Coming off of Thika Superhighway also, traffic is moving, I mean, uncharacteristically so, that it's not going to be business as usual, that we see fewer vehicles on the road already, and it looks like it's going to be that kind of day. So far, we also seen coming off in different parts of the Thika Superhighway. That's where we'll say we'll take a quick break right now, and we'll come back after this and continue, and we'll look into the headlines. Stay with us.
Hi everyone, my name is Belle Mariano and I play the role of Caroline in the show Can't Buy Me Love.
Get out! Everyone, leave now!
Can't Buy Me Love is a captivating show that reminds us all that love is the most precious treasure in life that comes without a price tag. You can watch Can't Buy Me Love at these days and time slots right here on this channel.
This is Speak Life. Can we talk?
She gets everyone talking. Health, relationships.
I prefer white boys. I've only dated white men.
Telling somebody I love you is different from telling somebody I trust you.
Mimi nimejijenga, nataka mwanaume amejijenga.
I've had to cut off broke girls, especially dating them.
Money.
Less than 30% of young Africans are financially literate.
The most important asset is you.
Family.
They didn't care what I did. So in a way, I just cut them off.
It will take me some time because I find myself even right now as a grown-up, distancing myself from my mother. She made me go through trauma.
There's a time I told my mother I'm not your husband.
And how did that go down with your mother?
I didn't care.
Identity. Purpose. Because one honest conversation can change everything. Real people, real life stories, real solutions. Speak Life with Tamiba, where culture, conversation, wellness and transformation meet. Only on KTN.
Today I'm going to give you classic cheese beef burger.
Lazima moto ikuje kutoka juu nyinyi.
Hiyo sio moto, inaitwa flambe.
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 In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. We continue with our special coverage of this day, June 25th, 2026. 2 years since the Gen Z protests that took place, and because of that, Kenya then was on the precipice of a change. And many would say that a lot of those changes that they looked for didn't happen. This is the Situation Room, and here on KTN, as well as on Spice FM, we're going to look into the headlines now and see what is making the news. Kenya's bold newspaper, The Standard. Gen Z's second anniversary. Our heroes, the pictures of the people whose lives were lost in this fight. And we call them by name for them to be remembered. Their names are there on the front page of The Standard. And it goes on to the back page. Rest in peace. Those are the things that we say about our heroes today. We're looking into some more pages. In The Standard today on page 2, Murkomen contradicts police on demos. Traders appeal for peace. Headlines in that story. Nairobi Regional Police Commander Issa Mohammed said the protests were illegal because they had not been notified. But Interior Cabinet Secretary said police had received notification of a plan to hold the demos. So, you know, which is which? You want to ask the question then, which is which? What's happening?
I tell you what happened.
Well, somebody was told something, that's for sure.
You see, when you have a body, right, there is the head and the neck.
Yes.
In this situation, the head is on the right, the neck is on the left. They are not
They're not coming together.
No.
Somebody was told something, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
So they've been called demonstration, there's a commemoration, there will be march to where there's something. But in all of this, the business community is saying, can we have some, can we just make sure that it's peaceful?
Yeah.
Parents of the youth killed in the 2024 protests are saying too little, too late. Especially when it comes to compensation. You're hearing that it's about 3 million shillings that these families are being given. Flags, flowers to mark Gen Z protest day events. Flags and flowers, not wielding weapons or anything like that, but flags and flowers coming in peace. Abductees recall ordeals, tortured but unbroken. I think it's interesting that this story plays out today because we did see that certain people, I mean, from the morning when, you know, the questions about who wanted to come out and protest on the 25th, then were either visited. We had confirmation of certain people arrested yesterday. And the question then is for what?
I mean, we're supposed to have an individual in studio. He couldn't make it because officers were outside his house.
Sent us videos through the day to continue letting us know that he couldn't make it out of his house. We don't know then what happened later on in the day. But then we saw, you know, folks like Bob Njagi arrested in Kitengela. And it continues. Gen Z Martyrs who march for change paid with their dear lives. That's a story that we'll continue to highlight. And plights of hundreds of Gen Z protesters languishing in jail. It still continues that there are some people who are still in jail because of these protests. And that's the story we're looking to. State starts payout for victims of protest-related rights violation, the 3 million shillings that we had talked about. Face the truth. Ruto under fire for accusing the Standard of blackmail is the story that's carried on page 6 of the Standard this morning. And of course, there was that whole back and forth yesterday of who did what or who didn't do the other thing. And we were granted an 8-day week. So, you know, yay for that. TSC explains higher pay AYE deductions in June pay, what they want to then be able to do with that. The Teacher Service Commission says the higher pay as you earn deductions in June salaries resulted from a correction of payroll systems annually. So every year they have to, you know, tweak a little bit here and there. The clarification comes after widespread complaints from teachers who noticed that their pay had reduced and they had to go to social media before TSC now said, oh, we've gone to social media, let's explain to you exactly what has happened. Fun.
You have an anomaly. Who's the accounting officer? You know, it's like yesterday we were being told it was a tagging error.
Yeah.
So we also have that at TSC. Now you have to come later, deduct more, then explain. Why don't you explain first to the teachers, then go deduct?
You would imagine that if it's a yearly thing that happens, because you know how you have like every now and then the sun phenomenon, where now you go back about 10 minutes, it's expected that you know it's going to happen. In a case like this, you don't have gremlins in your accounting system. It should be somebody who's sorting things out. Victims, kin, and survivors to lead vigil in Kisumu. That is happening in a different part of the country, obviously, as well. And looking into other pages then and seeing what's making the news. How DIG Lagat became the face of the Gen Z crackdown, linked directly to what happened with Alberto Juan. He was arrested following a complaint by the DIG over social media posts. He died in police custody. And so an autopsy concluded he had been tortured and strangled. What was then done with that information, your guess is as good as mine in terms of what's going to happen as concerns the case.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. One of the most idiotic explanations ever given on how someone died in a police cell. He ran straight to a wall.
Several times.
Hit his head. And
Several
died.
times in order to bring death. I mean, it's the same thing as Robert Oko, who shot himself and then
doused himself with petrol.
Doused himself with acid and lit himself up.
Same way people are abducting themselves in 2024. And
Same way. Kind of the same way. So the ODPP has decided to prefer murder charges, 16 murder charges against these 9 girls. So of course, when you look into that, you'll understand that there are different classes and that more than one girl will get more than one charge. Do you understand? In terms of what they've been able to find out. Utumishi girls, students face 16 murder charges. 8 of the 9 students of the Utumishi girls linked to the fire that killed fellow learners will be charged with murder in Nairobi tomorrow. Not manslaughter. There's a difference, but murder in this case. Because here, obviously now, according to the ODPP, there looks as though there was an intent to. And so there you see that's where the difference is. This follows a successful application by the state to have the matter transferred from Naivasha to Nairobi, citing the safety of the students, despite opposition from the families of the victims and the accused. It also emerged that the state dropped charges against one of the girls who was accused of setting a dormitory fire on the 26th of May, which led to the death of 16 students. So 8 of them then get the charges. One of them, the charges have essentially been dropped. Finally, the IEBC has told you that the campaign period will be next year. So for all avoidance of doubt, this period that we are in right now is not campaign period. Just in case anybody was confused. The IEBC now has officially said that, first of all, they've called for security agencies to decisively act on violence indicators. And as the DP leader, Muturi accuses the IEBC of sidelining opposition in key electoral processes. So we are looking at that they have declared that it is the second Tuesday of August that the general election will hold. I believe it is August 11th. 10th, I beg your pardon. And then we will campaign from May. Do you understand? Anything else that happens before then is not campaigning.
Let me ask.
It's a pre-match.
So that means all the campaign that we've been seeing is illegal.
No, it's not campaign.
It's not campaign.
It's not campaign.
Do you understand? They'll tell you, they said, if IEBC has said that the campaign does not start until May 2027, all these things that you've been doing before then is not campaigning.
It's not campaign.
Do you understand?
Okay.
May 29th to August 7th is when you will campaign. So everything that you will see before then is not campaign.
It's not campaign. So it is just people
riding atop vehicles.
Riding atop of vehicles, promising launching, and giving new promises, and saying, mukinipigia tena, nikirudi, nitamaliza kazi. That is not campaign.
That is not campaign.
No, it's not. Because IEBC has said the campaign period is from May 29th to August 7th. Got it?
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Apondo tuko. Okay. So, of course, some of the opinion pages and what we're hearing, AI won't turn us away from God. It will draw us even closer to him. These are the opinion pages from Elias Makua this morning. Should errant leaders be barred from, learners be barred from exams? These are some of the things that are happening in Kenya's bold newspaper, The Standard. You do want to get yourself a copy of The Standard. We'll do it for 8 days. Over to you.
Yeah, so let's go to the Daily Nation. And as you can see, that is the headline that we have on the Daily Nation right there. And it talks about the day that changed Kenya. And what day are we talking about? We're talking about June 25th, 2024, where on that pictorial right there, it is protesters along Kenyatta Avenue in Nairobi during the anti-finance bill demonstrations. That is June 25th, 2024. So it is the second anniversary, and on this day 2 years ago, anti-tax protesters stormed Parliament, forcing the state to shelve the draconian finance bill and dissolve the cabinet. Now, the demo casualties, at least 50 people were killed and dozens injured, most of them by police gunfire in the aftermath of the Gen Z protests that shut down the country. And hurting victims 2 years after uprising, survivors still live with pain and trauma. But the state has unveiled a payout for families of those killed or maimed during the riots. There was a conversation that was there last night. Gotta give flowers to Ian Ketanyi and Bentura Kwamboka for an amazing conversation with the victims, their families, you know, on what must be done. And one thing that was being said is, first of all, the victims and the families have not been contacted, especially those who were there. Only, I think, one gentleman had been contacted, and even then he was raising concern on the amount that has been given to him, because what is being labeled vis-a-vis what the doctors say are two different things, you know. So there is that as well that is ongoing. And State Assurance Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen says peaceful and unarmed protesters will be protected by police, but once goons plotting chaos will be punished. Perhaps Mr. Murkomen needs to be told that as you speak at the moment, even peaceful protesters cannot access the CBD because his police officers, the people that he oversees, have blocked the roads. So because he's also a lawyer, a learned fella, understands the Constitution, he was actually also in the Constitution making promise, tell your guys to allow protesters to get to the streets, no? It's Nikatiba. I'm assuming you would understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
Now, June 25th, the day that changed Kenya, that has been well expounded on page 2 and page 3, and here Murkomen vows crackdown on leaders mobilizing protest goons. So he's now saying that the government will crack down on the leaders who are mobilizing goons in the protest. That means that information, just that, he is admitting that he has intelligence on who are the organizers of the goons. So one would hope we see now arrests and people going to court.
Yep.
Now, how protest derailed Ruto's ambition to raise tax burden. Now, violent anti-tax demos in 2024 scuttled his plans to raise taxes to between 20 to 22% by the time he leaves office. So that is there on page 2. Now, the government steered clear of major new taxes this fiscal year. Now, traders still reeling from 2024 chaos, take precautions. And with that, we've seen that businesses actually, there's a high possibility many businesses will not open today because of fear of destruction of property. So that as well, you have to read it in terms of taxes that government will collect today, and that will definitely dip as well. So as we go to page 6, it is victims live with physical and emotional scars. So now, while the demonstrations ended, the consequences of that turbulent period still impact their daily lives. So that is June 2024 protest victim Mini Gadoni as there, who says, as we stood there, 3 police Land Cruisers passed. Officers in the 3rd vehicle were hanging outside, and one of them aimed his gun at me. This is how I was shot. What is she telling you?
Exactly.
I was just standing there, vehicle passed, I was shot. By who? A police officer. Now, one asked the question. Yesterday, there's a gentleman who was saying, that is Baba Brian. No, the boy who was killed in Rongai. They've been asked to take evidence to IPOA so that the matter could be heard. And they're asking the question, what evidence do we give you?
If it's post-mortem,
yeah, if it's post-mortem, you have it. If it's investigating the police, it is IPOA who does the investigations. What evidence can I, as a Kenyan, give you to help with the investigations?
It's pretty sad.
Very sad.
Yeah. So after the Gen Z revolt, where are they? So that is the reflection on discovering the power of collective action, painful price, lives lost, and lessons learned. So those are individuals who are seen to be the front runners in the demos in 2024. That is what we have right there on the Daily Nation. Come on, you could look at the star.
Yep, the star is shining. Key stories. The State House race begins as IBC blows 2027 whistle. Story continues on page 4 to 5. That's the calendar you are talking about. Yep. The calendar of events. You know, all public servants have been given notice on when they should resign if they are willing, seeking to vie. Continuous voter registration will happen in January, I think January 11th, and we will end by Feb 9th next year. Yeah. So there is ample time. I think they are talking to institutional preparedness.
Yeah.
And urging all stakeholders to start involving themselves and get ready. How I'm looking forward to compliance. This time round, things must be different.
To follow.
Yeah, the other big story is what you're talking about. They buried their children, but not their pain. It's about those who have survived, the victims of June 25th. And the story continues. This is the big story. I mean, not just today, because we've been talking about it weeks towards today. But the story continues. Gen Z families, they buried their kids, but not their pain. You know, one element that is rarely spoken about is the loss experienced by the survivors. True. You know, the parents, the dependents, the siblings, the neighbors, the friends, the girlfriends, the spouses. Those ones are nowhere. Even when they're talking about compensation, you don't hear about families being spoken to.
No, you don't.
So it's a tragic case, and like I said, in my opinion, these are economic heroes. May they rest in power, and we need to effect the change that was being sought in June 24 uprising. Stories continue, but I think also the most important one is when you go to page 8 of the Star. It says MPs put Sugar Board on the spot for allowing raw sugar importation. There's been a looming scandal where MPs have faulted Kenya Sugar Board for allowing irregular importation of raw sugar in the country without ensuring safeguards to protect consumers. The National Assembly's Trade Committee also found Kenya Sugar Board in contravention of the law after revelations that it is operating without a properly constituted board. So I think these are questions of quality control. We don't know what you're taking. You don't know whether it is fit for human or not. And this is not the first time this has happened. That story continues on page 8. On the same page, MPs fault diaspora PS Njogu for laxity in addressing welfare of Kenyans abroad. This is important, coming from a backdrop of what do you call CS Mudavadi. Remember the Russian story?
Yeah.
Kenyans still in the diaspora, their welfare is highly unknown. And of significance also, it is important for us Kenyans to note that Kuwait banned, I think, 27 countries as of yesterday from recruiting domestic workers. So a question arises, what happens to those, especially Kenyans, who are already in Kuwait and working as domestic workers? So this is important. I think that's why we need to pay attention to what the PS diaspora is doing. And MPs have accused the State Department of Diaspora Affairs for failing to adequately protect and assist Kenyans living and working abroad, despite rising cases of distress among migrant workers. More stories are to be found in the Star.
Of course. I just wanted to look at one story that, of course, is highlighted here. That, you know, there are a number of these stories highlighted through. But one thing that has come, just like you mentioned earlier, is that, you know, the families of these people have never been spoken to. And that all of this is happening, and it does seem a bit dreary. That 65 that's on the front page of the Standard today, that we find ourselves asking, how many of those 65 will actually meet justice? That it's possible that each of these 65 families will receive the 3 million shillings. But is that enough? Tortured but unbroken abductees recall ordeal. They're saying the things that we went through, we're not able to speak about them any longer. But that it still is happening. As late as yesterday, when people are being picked up. So what is the responsibility of government when it comes to saying, you know what, in a very overt public expression, we will not have these extrajudicial killings or abductions anymore? But then on the 24th, on the eve of the commemoration of this that happened 2 years ago, we still see people being disappeared. We still see people holed up in their homes for hours in the morning, not sure if they can get out, asking questions, what do you want with me? And the very threat that comes to them saying, well, you just come out.
You just come out to your offices.
And then we will see.
And then do you know,
what shadow are people living under still till now?
Yeah, and you see, the saddest part in all that is there is a court order that was given on the dress code of police officers and how they need to identify themselves to you. So here you have plainclothes officers who are telling you to get out. What is your service number? What is my offense? Why are you picking me up? Where are you taking me? Can I perhaps even have a call to my legal counsel? All those are not up for debate. It is you get out. You know, and it is so sad that even these things are being broadcasted live on television. We spoke about it early in the morning, yet it still continued till around 1 p.m. One asked the question then, what law are we using to run this country if the constitution that gives you the right to security, right for movement, right to speak up is being taken away from you? Then what law are these officers using to do what it is they're doing?
And you know, the making of a dictatorship, that's how it begins. First, they take away your rights, you know, and then they hide behind the burden of proof. Come and prove that you're innocent. You don't even know what the allegations are, you know. And as you rightly put it, we have a code of conduct. Our policemen, they know what they should do. If they need to arrest you, they even should be a warrant of arrest. You know, no one can just come into your house and take you like that. That is gang mentality. So it is unfortunate that we suspend the liberties that this country has experienced so far. But again, we suspend the constitution and we act at the whim of those who are in power. But I look back and I wonder, do you remember when C.S. Murkomen was held hostage in his own house by the former regime when Uhuru was the president? They tried to arrest him and he was calling, you know, left, right, and center. And here he is now, you know.
We never learn.
Unfortunately, that's what it looks like.
Tables turn.
This is the Situation Room, our special coverage of the commemoration of the Gen Z protests that happened 2 years ago. We're going to take a break and then we will get into our conversations when we come back. And of course, right here on KTN as well as Spice FM. So stay with us. After the break, we get into the conversations. Back in a moment.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.